Thank you for joining us today at Miniature Wargaming Labs. What you see in front of you are the Abyssal Cultists from the Games Workshop line. Got this out of the Blackstone Fortress box, but they also sell it at one of the Barnes & Noble's boxes. Has a set in it, or you can buy it by itself from Games Workshop stores. Now I painted all these guys at once, but for the video, what we're going to do is we're going to use this one as our exemplar here. So we're going to figure out how to paint her, and most of the colors off these models use her color scheme there. And for that, we are going to use standard Mechanicus gray to prime it, then mostly Army Painter paints. So we're going to use Wolf Gray, Crusted Sore, Matte Black, Gunmetal, Field Gray, Leather Brown, Barbarian Flush, Troll Claws, Dragon Red, a little blend of 1 part black and 2 part gunmetal. That's for the base. See there. And then some dry rust, fog gray, plate metal silver, and mythical orange. Now out of the Citadel line, we're going to use Nuln Oil and Reikland Fleshshade. So let's go ahead and get started on her. So I prime my model standard Mechanicus gray, and to get warmed up, I'm going to take some Army Painter Wolf Gray. I'm just going to do her pants. Now we'll take some Army Painter Crusted Sore. We're going to work on the model inside out, so I'm going to do the bits farther in, and then like these chaos symbol that sits on top of the cloak, I can just pick that out later. See, if I painted that symbol and tried to get the tabard, I'd probably make a lot of mistakes. But here I can just roughly push the paint in. It's a new Crusted Sore too, so I don't know how well I mixed it. Might need 2 coats, but I normally like to do just 1 thick coat. Especially at the roughing out stage. I'm going to use some Army Painter Matte Black. What we're going to do is the boots here. I'm not going to do the pooties, that's going to be in a different color. The part I like to do on this is belt. I'll let the brush just glide along the top of the model. And get some of these carrying cases and whatnot. And then we're going to do her las gun, or bolt rifle. Auto rifle. Alright. Let's see if there's anything else I want to be black. I think that's going to be it. I can always change my mind later on. Now we're going to take some Army Painter Gunmetal. Put my brush, here it is. And I am interpreting this as armored breastplate. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do magazine. I'm going to do the hand grenade. Do the helmet. Oh, yeah, and don't forget the belt buckle. Oh yeah, don't forget, I'm doing the back press plate. I mean, it's the back plate. Yeah, can you see little bolt rivets? Something like that up there. Oops. Got lost in the moment, went off camera. Oh, and she also has her own little shoulder pauldron. And this little wrist brace. Now, I'll take some Army Painter Field Gray. And this part actually looks like a cloth coming out from under the metal armor, which is actually not a bad idea. It's a little more ragged. So normally do my Chaos Cultists, I have wolf gray pants, and the rest of the clothing is field gray tops. There. Now I want to do the leather straps there. So I'm going to do leather brown. So let me get a drop of this out. Don't need much. So this is just going to be right here. Just give it a little contrast to color. Now I also wanted to do, these little straps. Just don't need to be neat at this point. We're going to do the skin later. So we'll do the straps attaching the middle plate right there. Steady my hand with my pinky. Let's see if there's any other straps we can do. No, that looks about it. Okay. Touch that up later. Now I'm ready to use some Nuln Oil. At this point I'm going to take a brush I've destroyed, but it's good for slopping on this stuff, and I like to slop on a lot. Really darken down the wolf gray, the metal armor. I normally do this right before I've got somewhere to go or somewhere to be, because it's going to take a while to dry. Don't want to put on too much so that it runs. Man, I cannot stay centered on the camera to save my life today. Let's push this around. Alright, now we're going to let that, I got stuff to do, come back when that's dry. Now we're going to take some Army Painter Barbarian Flush. I'm going to use a finer point brush, at least initially, because I want to get around all the metal work and everything. Now we're going to take some troll claws, and that is going to be for booties. So I also put some right there for that strap. Now we're going to use Dragon's Red to do the chaos symbol. To just use the tip of the brush, I outline the top of the image. Now I'm going to take some Reikland Fleshshade, give that a shake and open it up here. I'm going to take my brush, just want to apply it to, let's see, flesh color there. Put it on the troll claws color that we set down. I've done Nuln Oil and Reikland Fleshshade on the troll claws. And I like how the Reikland looks better. Don't worry about missing and overshooting a little bit. Now, while we're waiting for that to dry, we're going to work on the base, and I use a custom mix of 1 part black, 2 parts gunmetal, like an extra dark metal base here. Squeeze that color out. Come on. To coax it out. There we go. Alright, so for this one, pull it out of the handle, since I want to get around the trim, I would actually get to where you can see it. So just use a nice detail brush, cut around the feet. Base is dry enough. I'm going to do a little treatment here, so let me get my palette over. And I took some Army Painter Dry Rust, and I thinned it down to a happy glaze. Let me just get a little bit more water in there. So let's pull that up. Yeah, that's thin enough. Let me just put this over that metal. Now this will be the rust effect. It's similar to GW's Troll Slayer Orange, and also their technical rust effect, but I can water it down more easily. There we go. And that will actually dry less intense than what you see. But it takes a while to dry. That's why I do a bunch of these at once. Now that's all dried up, the next step is we're just going to do some finishing touches here. So I'm going to take some Army Painter Fog Gray. Now this is a lighter blue and a lighter gray than the wolf one. So I'm going to take a brush. Now it used to be a long pointy brush and I hacked it down. Now it kind of serves as a tiny precise dry brush. I'm going to take the Fog Gray and use it like a dry brush there. And we're gonna hit it to the edges of like the belts, the little packs here. It just picks up the edge of color. We're also going to use it on shoes. Also use it on the field gray. So yes, I brush it on there. It actually blends pretty well. Got a little touch of field gray there. There. Alright, now we're going to go back to the wolf gray. A little bit here. We're going to do the black for the weapon system. That way you get the sense that they're different materials. So I think that's everything there. Next we're going to take some plate mail silver. Take our brush here, just get a little bit on the tip of the brush, and just kind of touch some of the edges of the plates. Metal. So if we got any skin, like the Barbarian Flush or anything, on the helmets or anything, now's a chance to tidy it up. Imagine the lights coming down, so the areas of metal facing up would have this extra layer of the brighter metal color. There we go. Now we're going to go back to the crusted sword here. We're going to put a couple fresh coats, but only on like the raised edges. That. Use the side of the brush there. Side of the tip. Try to enhance these shadows here. There we go, and you can add some more flavor to it. Putting more layers on it. Get the color to bounce out. That's enough to get a sense of the contours of the model. There we go. Now we're going to go back to the Barbarian Flush color. I'm just going to put some touches on the musculature. Trying to highlight these abs. Let's get some of the raised areas. Get some killer biceps there. These little touches help bring the model to life. Now for the finishing touch, I'm going to take some Mythical Orange. What I'm going to do is just touch some of the points on the stars here. And then we will call that a day on this model. So, thank you for joining us at Miniature Wargaming Labs, and we'll see you next time.